We're back. Interior is done, and now we're focusing on the exterior. All the plastic has already been dressed. Wifey went around and dressed it with Vonix Restarax. We're running low on this stuff. We got to get some more. And the cowl and like some of the front grill parts that were kind of difficult to dress, we use the Stoner's Trim Shine because it's just easy to spray onto the grill areas and lower portions, and the windshield cowl because it has all these little grates in here. So just spraying it and wiping all the surrounding area really makes those plastics look nice, and it's easy to dress that way also. So now we're going to move on to protection. Now for protection, the paint actually looks good. I didn't have to clay bar it or do anything too extensive on the paint. So it is actually, there's no marring or anything. There's light swirls in it, but that's whatever. We're not polishing anyway, so it doesn't matter. But we are going to use this sealant. And I haven't used the mirror finish polish products in a while, but I love them. I really, really like them. And I have their high octane, which actually claims 12 months of protection. It's a ceramic spray sealant. 12 months of protection. Now, to be realistic, cars like this that are daily drivers, work trucks, they sit outdoors, I'm going to cut that protection in half. So even though it says 12 months, realistically, probably 6 months. Depends on how the owner cares for it, but you could get this up to 12 months if it's garage kept and maybe not a work vehicle or a daily driver. Or if it is, you're taking care of it properly and just washing it and making sure that it's, always clean and getting the majority of the contamination and junk off the paint. That's really what kills sealants and coatings and anything, is an accumulation of junk on the paint. It bonds, it gets stuck, no matter what protection it is. Things will still get stuck onto the paint. And if you don't wash them away within a reasonable amount of time, that's when it builds up and it will break down anything. Environmental factors and contamination will break down any type of protection on the paint. That's why when we say maintenance, we just mean washing it on a regular basis. And that will keep the junk off the paint, and it will keep your protection fresh and lasting much, much longer. That really is key. For you mobile detailers, you probably noticed this, or any detailing business, you probably noticed this. If you have regular clients and you're washing their car on a regular basis, yeah, you're probably going to use some sort of a spray sealant or a spray wax on it to kind of keep up on it every single time. But sometimes we wouldn't. Like, we would have jobs where like everything is beading. Let's just blow dry it, towel dry it, and we wouldn't even put any type of topper on it at all. We just leave it alone because the protection was still fine. And then, the next couple of weeks or a month later when we come back to do it again, the protection is still beading and looking great. So it has to do with washing it regularly. That really makes a big, big difference. So awesome. Good to see everybody in here. Hey, what is up? So clean. Nice to see everyone. So let's go ahead and apply the protection. And right now, Wifey is actually doing wheels and tires. And what are you using on wheels and tires?
Suds Lab.
Oh, Suds Lab stuff.
Tire dressing.
Okay, here, let me pop you off the tripod here and turn the camera around and show you what Wifey is working on. So all the lower portions here, tires, wheels. And even though we put the protection on the wheels, the spray-on protection, we still go over it with something else. So here's what we're using. The Suds Lab Tire and Trim. I love this stuff. I got a gallon of it from him, and I love it. I don't even dilute it. I just use it straight. Awesome, awesome stuff. As far as dressing these, that's really up to you. And if you do want to dress them to make them look nice, you've got to tell your customer, look, it's slippery now. So you can wipe it down and wipe it down and wipe it down, but it is still going to be slippery.
I only dressed this.
Oh, good. Okay, you didn't do the other parts? Okay, good. Then just leave it.
Crushed.
So this stuff, actually, I don't even know if Gabe makes this stuff anymore, but he used to. It's basically an SiO2 spray sealant detailer. Like it's an all-in-one type of stuff. It's really, really cool. But I don't think he makes it anymore, so I can't even get it anymore. But wheels, tires, wheel wells, all the bottom plastics are being done. I know it looks really shiny, but it's just because it was just applied. So you let that soak in and maybe even brush it down a little bit just to make sure that there's no sling. You don't want any buildup of dressing in the grooves here, because if that doesn't dry completely, that's what slings onto your vehicle as well. It's just too wet. but it does look really, really nice. So we'll let that kind of dwell and brush it down a little bit more later. So let's swap the camera and let's do the protection. And I'm using just a nice fluffy blue towel here. I forget where I got this. Probably Rag Company or something else. I don't remember. So many different towels. And I do have a yellow towel here that came from Walmart. And their package of microfiber towels. They're 40 pack that I got for like 20 bucks from Walmart. Really, really good stuff. All right. So, high octane. That's what this is called. Application of this is very straightforward, very easy. You can spray it onto the paint or onto the towel. Wipe on, wipe off. It just kind of melts into the paint. Really, really nice stuff. What's your favorite spray sealant right now? Be from any company, doesn't matter. What do you like to use the most? What do you find gets the best results for you in your area, in your vehicles, your customers' vehicles, or even your own? If you're a DIY guy and you're doing your own vehicles, what have you found to work? Let me know. Either in the chat or in the comments in the video. I don't know if the chat actually shows up after the video is published. I always forget with live videos. Man, oh, it's so slick. Once you flip the towel, yeah, it's nice. And where we removed the that old bug guard, everything still looks really, really nice. Cool.
Didn't it ruin the paint?
It did ruin the paint a little bit, and there wasn't much I could do. It gouged into some of the paint.
Did you get it repainted? Because I don't see it.
No. I mean, I barely noticed like little tiny deeper scratches. But no, I don't really notice it that much unless you look up really, really close with lights. So between DIY, ceramic gloss, and Defender. Oh, cool. All right. Ceramic gloss, wet coat, Geon. Nice. Very cool. Let me see. What else? Meguiar's Quick Detailer, low key, best in the game. Yeah, economic by the gallon. Oh yeah, that is really good stuff. Very cool. Geon. Oh, the Synergy. Geon Mohs coating. That's BC9. Cool. All right, awesome. Yeah, I mean, I have a variety of stuff, and I mean, I have the Tech Choice 582. I always forget the number on this, but Tech Choice spray sealant. I don't think this is like a super, super strong 6-month sealant necessarily, but again, if you're applying it, say, once a month onto a vehicle, you're going to get that continuous protection on there. So it's not about spraying a product or using a product and letting it ride to see if you can get 6 months out of it. It's not always about that, because that to me is just not proper maintenance. You don't put something on and then expect it to just last. For me, I'm just applying something almost every single time I'm washing a vehicle. For maintenance products on our customers' vehicles, yeah, we're always spraying something on because we don't know. When it leaves our shop, we don't know what the customer is doing to it, if they're really caring for it properly or not. And really, it doesn't matter to us. As long as they bring it back and we take care of it from then on. That's always the proper thing to do. So putting some sort of protection on it every single time, I find is just the right thing to do when you're maintaining your own vehicle or someone else's vehicle. It just doesn't make sense to me. And I think in the detailing world, a lot of people have kind of gotten away from that idea. They just expect protection to last its intended durability. And if it doesn't, then they just rip that product apart. It's like, it's not that. It's you. It's your environment. It's so many variables that people are not thinking of. And they just think, let it go. No, why would you do that? Of course you want to protect your vehicle every time you're washing it. Put something on it and keep the protection going. As long as your car is easier to clean and beating water every single time, put a little bit of something on it each time if you want, and keep it going. Social media, I think, has really messed up a lot of new and upcoming detailers. It used to be good, and then it just got oversaturated with silly notions and ideas and marketing and all sorts of crazy stuff. It just kind of ruined the fun and ruined the logic behind it, too. Everybody's giving their own spin on things or coming up with things that they think are so original, or just copying other people and copying or regurgitating bad information, bad intel. Totally understand, because as a new detailer, you're just trying to figure out what's right, what's true, what's real. It's kind of hard to navigate with that right now. Market is oversaturated with all sorts of things, from products to bad ideas that don't make sense. Oh man, it is beautiful out now. Look at this. We had overcast this morning and now it's sunny and nice. So what's left on here? Paint, glass, interior glass need to be done? Windshield?
Just a little bit. Bottom of the windshield.
Bottom of the windshield? Okay. Tailpipe. Oh, yeah. If you didn't watch the first live video, I did one this morning where we washed and deconned the car, or the truck, I should say. And when we got to the tailpipes, they were just like really, really bad. You know, corrosion starts to set in, so gonna have to take some quadruple zero steel wool and some metal polish and polish them out, make the tips look nice. Shine your light, Humberto, how's it going? I always forget the tailpipe. I know, me too. Wifey usually has to remind me. But that's something that, it's not on every vehicle. You know, some vehicles don't really have tailpipes that you do anything to. They don't have the, chrome tips that you polish. But yeah, you always got to look out for that. I will forget sometimes. And this isn't a fully electric vehicle, so it does have tailpipes. Yeah, paint feels nice and smooth. Cool. Any bugs left?
A little bit.
A little bit? Okay. So still a few bugs here and there. You know, it's hard to tell with bugs on the paint because, especially with this color, it's very forgiving. It hides a lot. But also when the vehicle is wet, you don't see the bugs. Especially not, just a little bit of etching that still might be there, or just a little bit of bug residue that still might be there. So once everything dries, then you see it. And then you got to go back and maybe attack it with a little bit of, a cleaner wax or a polish or an all-in-one. Usually I found all-in-one polishes to work really, really well. You can usually clean it off with just a quick detailer or even the sealant in the microfiber. And you just, be a little bit more aggressive. But the better way, I think, is to use an all-in-one polish and a microfiber applicator and just remove it by hand. Just lightly polish the bug etching away, or the bug residue. I shouldn't say etching, it's just the residue. If it leaves a big etching mark, that's different. Then depending on the service, you might want to remove that. All the mats came out really nice, so wifey just blow dried them and used the Stoner's trim shine on them. Shined up all the mats, and that will cause some slipperiness also. But I've mentioned in other videos that brand new WeatherTech mats are slippery at first when you first get them. At least mine were when I got them for my vehicle.
And I wipe it down.
Yeah, you wipe it down a lot, so they're not as slippery after that anymore. But still, it's something that I think you should always inform your customer about. And just let them know, hey, the mats might be a little slippery for a while. Just please watch your footing. All right. Just got to do the roof and that side of the glass and the windshield. I'm just going to spray it heavily on top here because I'm not worried about, a little bit of smeary residue on the roof line here, on the rooftop. Can't even see it anyway. So I'll just go really heavy up there. And this stuff smells incredible. It actually smells just like the Tech Choice 582. It smells just like it. Probably just using, similar scent profiles. Nice. The wheels look so good. All right, that's looking awesome. I'm gonna have to double check the chrome bumper in the front and back. Wifey said there's some of the bugs in the front. I'll have to double check and make sure that they're nice and clean and looking good. Oh, it is, for those who may have missed it, Mirror Polishes High Octane. It's a 12-month ceramic sealant. Of course, it's a daily driver work truck, stays outside. 6 months probably is usually what I rate that as, just to be a little bit more realistic. So just going down, just seeing if any other questions pop up. Cool. All right. Don't see any other questions. How many went to SEMA? I know there are quite a few people there at SEMA. I don't know. I really don't know if we'll ever go. Only because it's such a huge event, and for us it's kind of overwhelming, and if I don't have a purpose to be there, I probably won't go there. MTE, Florida, I'm not going to do it this year, but maybe next year. That's a little bit easier. It's smaller, and at least I can turn that into like a beach vacation. My wife, when we do business trips like that, we try to do it where we can build it into a vacation, and enjoy the beach or something like that. Out in Arizona, I'm not a Vegas guy or anything like that, so I don't care. Oh yeah, we used a lot of different products here. Yes, we use the honey combination pads from Poland. Oh, your homeland. Oh, I think I don't know if I talked to you before. You shared some information. Yes. Yeah, those pads are awesome. I only use the orange ones too. I still have all the other ones that I haven't even used yet. But I know there are a lot of people there at SEMA. So of course, Pan went, the guys from the House of Rags, Jamie, and his whole crew there doing their thing, showcasing their products, showcasing Pan's products. Very cool. That must have been fun. Pine needle. Yeah, to be honest, if I don't have a purpose to go to events like that, to either be with a company or showcase products or something like that, I'm just not gonna go. It's a pretty big expense, and I would have to take time off of work and all those things, and it's like that. We are a small business, despite what people think. We are not making a ton of money here from YouTube or product placements and affiliates and all that stuff. Our money comes from customers like this. That's the bulk of it. Yeah, we have, affiliate stuff. It makes a few $100s a month. YouTube, it maybe makes a little over $1,000 a month, sometimes more depending on it, but that covers our bills, to be realistic. It covers our bills, but we're not making a ton of money here to put into a lot of traveling. So we're just not going to do it unless we're invited and, they pay our way. That's the only way we can do that type of traveling, to be completely honest and realistic on that. So I just can't always do that. Just being real with that. Hey, Jamie's Detailing, how's it going, man? How do you get rid of tiger stripes on black plastic trim? Oh, that's a good question. So, at least from my research, I've found that tiger striping like that is usually like kind of built into the plastic. It's not necessarily from an outside source. It's usually the plastic itself that was either a factory defect or something else on the plastic. That it's messed up basically from within. The way that it was created and molded like that, it's kind of messed up. I have fixed some by just using a dedicated ceramic trim coating, and that made everything even out. You can still kind of see it because that tiger striping is almost like texturized into the plastic. But that's helped. But then there's been other trim where it's been faded so much where the tiger striping is almost like white, and nothing helped it. The only thing you can probably do that I don't really recommend is heat treat it with a heat gun. But when you do that, it makes the plastic brittle. There's other, negative effects that can happen from heat treating plastic like that. Yeah, you see it on social media all the time. Don't always believe it because they just show you it, but they don't explain anything. That's not really good to do on plastic anyway. Do I have a code for any of the cordless buffers? I think the only one that I might have a code for, but I don't know if it'll work on them because those are bigger items, and typically companies don't do discounts for them, but maybe the ShineMate ones. So if you go from Carzilla, that's Canada. So that's the only one that I might have the code on, but that's about it. I don't think I have any other codes for any other polishers, like the Rupes ones I don't. And unfortunately, Car Supplies Warehouse stopped doing the Miranda 10 discount code, so I don't even have a code for that, unfortunately. So sorry about that, guys. What else? What else? Oh, actually, painting the trim. Yeah, I have done that before. Or like a plastic dye trim restore. That does help. Yep, I've definitely done that before. Let me see. What about the Rupes blue cutting wool pad? Did I use that one before? I think I have used that one. I might actually have a video on that coming out soon because we did some paint corrections and I think I used that one. Unless I already released some of those. I think there was a video that we did where we were doing some basically like a, paint restoration, paint correction rescue on that black BMW that we did a while ago. I may have used it on that. Could have. I don't remember now. Oh, yes. Actually, I did use a trim paint from Shine Supply on a truck before where it was this trim. This trim was like all faded out, and on another truck, of course, not this one. And I did the entire top area with a trim paint from Shine Supply, and that worked really well. It was brush applied. The only downside to that is sometimes it leaves a little bit of texture from like the brushing on. And it doesn't necessarily wear off or wear down, but it can chip and peel off. As good as you prep the surface, I think that the customer already, he uses it for work. He put something against it and it rubbed it and it actually kind of pulled off like a little chip or a section of the paint and revealed underneath. So that's going to happen too. It's just like painting trim in a house. If it rubs up against it, sometimes it can, if it's fresh, it'll actually peel the paint off of it. So it's still a good fix, but you always have to tell the customer, hey, it's still temporary. It's still just kind of a quick fix. Hey, what's up? PR Peacock Base, what's up? The Marilex sprayers are really good, and I do have the one that I put the Schrader valve on. Actually, those ones I've had for quite a long time. The pumps that I was not a fan of were the big boy pumps. I have one little handheld one that's like a little electric one, but I had these other two bigger ones that I got, and both of them don't pump up to pressure anymore. They're just broken. The pump just continues to run, and I've checked everything out, all the valves, everything to make sure, and just I got two of them, and they still like to replace one, and both of them didn't work, unfortunately. So I don't even use them. I have them still stored over there just to see if maybe one day I can fix it or something, but those ones I was just not a fan of. The IK foamer one with the little battery pack and air compressor, that's nice. I used that in the first live video. However, it's not high pressured enough. I still find it better to just use the Schrader valve that's on that IK Foamer Pro 12 and just pump it up with my air compressor, because I just pump it up really fast all the way up to as much pressure as it can take, and it relieves the pressure from the relief valve, and then I can go around the entire vehicle with nice high pressure. But the other little battery pumped one, I think that little pump needs to be upgraded. It's too weak. It's not enough pressure to keep up with it, and it just kind of spits out the foam. With those, you need higher pressure. So I think they need to upgrade that IK Pro 12 foamer little air compressor attachment to make sure that it actually fills up the air quickly and enough pressure in there. Because otherwise, it just doesn't do the job. What's your opinion on the dressing, turtle wax, graphene tire dressing? I haven't used it in a while, but when I was using it, I loved it. It did need 2 applications of that. I found that any of like the graphene tire dressings just need 2 applications to make it look nice and even. So it worked, but I don't know, just regular water-based tire dressings like the tire dressing from Suds Lab that I showed, that stuff is the best. I love it. It reminds me of Meguiar's hyper dressing. Or if you can get your hands on Meguiar's hyper dressing, that's also really good. No, I never got the 90-degree Schrader valve. I should look into it, but I just never did. Yeah, okay, so you use that Velcro attachment. Well, yeah, it works. I wouldn't say amazing for me, but I don't know. It's just not enough pressure. It's not putting out enough pressure. It needs to be adjusted. It needs to be upgraded or something to put out more pressure faster. But that's just me. That's just my opinion. All right, this is looking good. I just need to check the front bumper, rear bumper, the chrome, and the tailpipe. Oh, let me show you what I use for the tailpipes. I think I might just have to get a fresh steel wool pad, which I have some right here. This is the stuff. So fresh quadruple zero. And what will I use for polish? I mean, you can use almost anything you want for metal polishing, but I think I'm going to use the Renegade stuff, because Renegade stuff is really good. So let me grab it off camera here. Okay. This stuff right here, Renegade. I have their other one called Pipe Dream also, which is for chrome. That's really good stuff too. Rebel Red metal polish. So this will restore, shine, And I think it has like a conditioner in it or some sort of a protectant in it as well. But, trying to protect tailpipes, it's kind of a losing battle, because you're getting the exhaust, you get excessive heat, like all that crazy stuff. So, yeah. And just to show you guys what it looks like here, that's the tailpipe. And it's all black from soot. And it's not dirty. It's just the soot. So I'll apply a little bit on the outside and then, oh yeah, it all comes off. Now it's shiny. All the carbon junk and exhaust and all that stuff just comes right off. And this stuff I think is considered kind of like a heavy cutting metal polish. It's pretty aggressive stuff. Nice. All right. This exhaust pipe is like, it goes back maybe 8-9 inches or so. And just kind of have a crappy towel here. I don't use any nice fluffy towels for exhaust tip polishing. It's funny when I see some detailers on social media using like super nice fluffy expensive towels to wipe off soot residue from tips like this. Why would you do that? There. Nice. That made quick work of it. Now, it's nice and shiny. I know, kind of hard to see. Let me see if I can zoom in. There you go. See? Nice and shiny. Looking good. Cool. Now, one last thing, or a few last things to do. And you can see why filming while detailing takes so much longer. I would have been done with this like an hour ago. But spending the time and talking to you guys and explaining things, it takes up time. So that's fine. That's totally fine to do. Let me grab my other towel. And I don't think the bugs on here were really bad. So I think instead of using this nice towel, I'm going to grab the other yellow towel that I have here. I think Wifey was using it for the bugs as well. And I'm just going to go over this. Oh yeah, there's chips there. Now I see them. Actually gouged into the paint. Yep. I'm just going to go over the headlights, and sometimes it's really hard to see. So I do need a light. So when you're detailing, how hectic does it get? And I mean, like, from a physical working standpoint, I know for me, when I get into the zone of detailing and working, it's very hard for me to get distracted. I just focus and I just get the job done because I want to get it done. I hate stopping in the middle of something and having to finish it later, because usually I sometimes might forget stuff. So in the moment, I just got to blast through it. Again, filming like this is difficult because I don't think a lot of people realize how difficult it is, because we're not a YouTube business. We are a real detailing business, so it's hard to like balance that, filming and trying to get as much information as possible, showing before and afters and all that stuff, and actually just getting the job done correctly without missing things. It's hard to balance. So, without filming, I just blast through the jobs, and it's just much easier and faster. Of course, I mean, like, it just makes sense. But how hectic does it get when you're detailing without filming or anything? If you're not, into that, or you're not doing that, how crazy do you get when you're detailing? Like how hyper focused do you get where nothing, distracts you? and you just focus on it. Because I know for me, sometimes I do get too distracted, and I mean not too distracted, too focused, where I I can just filter out anything else that's going around me. And when we were mobile, that could actually be kind of dangerous because sometimes we'd be in a bad neighborhood or a bad area of town, like Richmond City, or the outskirts, and one of us had to keep an eye on stuff. So sometimes wifey would remind me, like, "Hey, we're in a bad area. Like, watch your back. Like, don't stay for too long on something without looking or like standing up and looking around." And yeah, I mean, we got into some crazy areas where it was very, very risky. Like, we never got mugged or anything, or nothing bad happened, but it could have. It could have. We would have homeless people come up to us like during the summer as we're washing a car, and they'd like come up shirtless to us, guys, shirtless to us, and be like, "Spray me down." We're like, "Please go away." It was really weird. But that could have been bad because they were like drunk or high or whatever, and it could be scary. I mean, that really just depends on where you're working. But if anyone knows Richmond, it used to be like one of the highest like crime rates in the country. It's pretty bad. I don't think it's like that anymore, but things have changed. But still, there's some crazy areas of town that you got to be really, really careful with. That's the one thing I don't miss about being mobile is stuff like that. So yes, or suddenly realizing that I need to eat. Okay, so that's a funny thing. That's kind of a joke that my wife and I would say to each other. Or she would remind me all the time, like, "Did you eat anything? Do you drink anything?" Especially drinking. Like, I just forget to drink water. I just keep on going. Wifey has to remind me because I'll go and go and go and go and skip lunch and skip eating, drinking, everything, and just keep on going and going and going. That's not good. And actually, the first year I got dehydrated. I almost had heat stroke. Like, yeah, bad stuff, especially in the summer. Got to keep hydrated. So I'm just going down the comments here. Yeah, you get in the zone. So when someone yells at you, you might get spooked. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it does get hectic trying to shoot videos. It's crazy. Because sometimes, wifey gets in the zone too, and she'll just be working and working and get something done, and I'm like, "Oh man, I wanted to film that," and she's like, "Sorry, just got in the zone and cleaned it." But yeah, cool. All right, I don't think I missed any other questions or anything. But after the stream too, you can leave questions in the comment section. What do you advise customers when they have those plastics on the hood for the bugs? Um, to remove them? Yeah, I'm just not a fan of those. The only ones that I think can actually work are the ones that just kind of sit on the surface. That they screw underneath the hood, and there's like at least a half-inch gap. Nothing's touching the paint at all. That I think is smarter to have, and they work, but I just don't like the ones that stick onto the paint at all. With double stick tape, oh, it's the worst idea possible because you can't seal the edges of those, and dirt and water is still going to get in there. So it's just a bad idea. Not good at all. All right. This is looking good. Very minimal bugs here. I think wifey got the majority of the bugs. I think all I have to do now is the glass. And for the glass, I am going to use a new product from Vonix. Oh, what are my thoughts on the Vonix? Oh, interesting. You should say that. Flexus interior detailer that has ceramic in it. Wait a second. Was that the green one that I used the other day? I think. I think it was. Hold on. Let me go and find out if that was the actual one that I used the other day. I think so. So here's the glass cleaner. And oh, Flexus. Yes, here it is. Okay. Yes, the ceramic interior protection. Okay, that's actually really really cool. I love its application. Its application was really really nice. Super easy to use. And I actually use it in my own vehicle. I put it on my dash and center console area. It smells nice. It kind of makes a nice fresh smell in the cabin. But it doesn't leave any type of weird smearing or streaking, at least not that I have seen. So far, I'm really, really liking this stuff. Very, very nice. Yeah, those bug deflectors. Ugh, I hate them. So bad. What's my favorite rotary or TA? I just use DAs, but I have rotaries. I actually have the SPTA cordless rotary. I have, what else? I have another rotary, mini rotaries in there. I have a few. I don't actually have any. Do I have a corded? Oh, wait, I do have a corded rotary from MacShine that I'll use sometimes. I will pull it out every once in a while to do heavy cutting on wet sanding or something like that if I need to, but you know what? It makes such a mess that the last time I used it, it flung stuff everywhere. I mean, even though you're keeping everything flat, it's a rotary. It has a tendency to do that. It makes a mess because it's for heavy cutting. And I'm like, nah, I'm just go back to my DA and my microfiber discs and my, cutting polishes for that. And it's cleaner. For me, it's just faster and just more efficient. So, but that's me. I've learned to use a DA so effectively and so efficiently that a rotary is just useless to me. But, there are other guys who feel differently. So that's whatever. It's cool. It's funny that, there was that whole crazy guy on Instagram, the Rotary Gang people. Like, what is this? Like a country gang here that's like picking on people for using certain tools, like from the Wild West or something. Rotary Gang. Joke. It's funny. But yeah, it's like what are they gonna do? Like hang people for using a DA machine? It's silly. Ugh, what a mess. All right, let's use the Glassy cleaner. This supposedly again has some sort of protection in it, but I'm very unsure of what it is. It says it will protect and condition glass. Really don't know what that means, but whatever, we'll use it. And let's see. Oh, you know what? Maybe I have some of those washed towels from Walmart, the roll. Do I? I think Wifey already used a few of them. Yeah, I think she did. Okay. So let me grab a new one. I'll show you what I mean. These are my new glass cleaning towels. So they come in a big roll. And they're only like maybe 300 maybe lower, maybe just under 300 GSM, but they don't feel chintzy. They feel good quality. And I mean, every towel, whatever it is, even waffle weave, I have found, eventually, when washed enough, will still leave lint. They will eventually leave lint. Not brand new ones, but they will eventually leave lint. Every single towel. So I don't spend a lot of money on glass towels. I'll get cheap ones like this. It's like what was it, a 35 pack? Or maybe it was more. Maybe it was like a 50 pack of towels for like 25 bucks of these blue towels. And I'm going to wash them and reuse them until they start linting and then use them for other grungy things and then chuck them. But I will use them as long as I need to get them, usable, get the use out of them. That's what I'm trying to say. Let me answer some questions here. Have I used the Revox? I have Revox. Actually, that is weird. I don't use this. Oh, Revox is for tires. So I have used this on tires. It is really, really good stuff. But what was the other one? Vexis? I don't remember. I might have. I don't remember if I've used Vexis. Let me see. No, I don't think I have yet. Have I ever had to service your AR Blue? Myself, I replaced a valve, not a valve, a little gasket in it. I opened it up myself and did it. So super easy. I actually have all the different little parts, not the plungers in it, but I have all the other like seals and stuff and gaskets for the pump. But I did it myself. I don't bring it anywhere. Vonix Delete. Yes, I have Delete. Actually, I have a whole gallon of it, and I will use that on the tires. Just haven't used it in a while, but it is really good. How long have I been using the SPTA polishers, and do I recommend them? Absolutely. They hang up here, and we use them almost exclusively. 90% of the time, we're reaching for those. Every once in a while, just because I feel like using something different, I'll use the ShineMate, or the Batoka, or the Flex, because I have those all in cordless. But the SPTAs, we've been using those particular ones for at least 4 years, and we use the other older versions for at least 2 years, and we still have them. We just haven't used them in a long time because I like these ones better, more power, and I like the ergonomics of them. But I mean, I have batteries. I got plenty of batteries. You can use the Makita batteries for them. So I got OEM Makita batteries and an OEM charger. The SPTAs are awesome. It's just funny that so many people badmouth, cheaper polishers like that. Hey, I don't need to go out and buy Rupes polishers. I have it. I have the new Rupes cordless polisher. I have the Mark III Rupes corded polisher. It just sits. I use these for almost everything, even heavy paint correction. I will use them. So, yeah, I have a lot of experience with that. Cool. So let's just get to cleaning this glass, and we're almost done and break for lunch. How long has this been? Almost 50 minutes. See how long it takes? Like, it takes so much time. So many people don't realize how much time it actually takes to film stuff, and record videos for YouTube. Not to mention the editing part also. The editing can take a few hours also. I can usually crank out, one video in about an hour if I'm concentrating on it. Nice. It does make the glass smooth, like really nice and slick. I think we actually have some water spots up here that I can't really quite see. Oh, they're not that bad. Okay. Good. And I'm going to flip the towel inside out so I have a clean side. And with this cleaner too, with the glass cleaner, I'm actually like kind of oversaturating the towel a lot. I find that it likes that. It doesn't like a dry application with the glass cleaner. It really likes to be heavily applied onto the glass because it evaporates very quickly, and I don't get any streaking or smearing with it either, which is awesome. So it's kind of my new favorite glass cleaner, especially for windshields. I'll use stuff that has like some protection in it on the windshield. Awesome. All right, clean up the edges. We're looking good. I think the only thing I need to do is just double check. Let's go around the truck and double check and make sure that everything is looking good. Yeah, the AR Blues do seem pretty easy. They are pretty easy to service. There's quite a few videos out there And even the one I did, I'm not an expert on them, so the video was for the purpose of showing like kind of a novice way of doing it. And I make some errors taking it apart and putting it together, and just kind of show like how to do it so other people can learn what to do and what not to do. Um, but it's super easy. Get the Allen wrenches and certain tools, and you can take everything apart and just take everything apart properly and put it in its place, and you can put everything back together very very easily. So it's easy, and even the parts. I think Car Supplies Warehouse, you can get the parts from there, or Amazon sometimes, or even AR Blue themselves. You can always contact them and say, hey, I need this part. Customer service on AR Blue is a little spotty. Maybe they've gotten better, but sometimes it can be difficult to get, information from them. So just reading some of the other comments in here. But the cordless polisher from Rupes is nice. Um, but there is one thing, and I had a couple of people mention it to me, um, that when I did it in the video, I ran it without a polish, without a pad on it, and it would vibrate. Well, I guess I should have explained in the video that I used it on the paint with the pad and everything, actually working with it, and it still does the vibrating sound. So a lot of people were saying, "Oh, the machine is built to, do this, and then it needs the pad to balance it, and you need to put on the paint, and it needs to all balance out, and then the rattle goes away." Okay, maybe, but how come the SPTA doesn't do it at all? It doesn't rattle at all on the paint, off the paint, at all. I mean, I can work with both of them exactly the same. So to me, that whole idea of, oh, it needs a pad to balance and this to balance and blah 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 blah. You know what that sounds like? That sounds like the differences between a Toyota and a Ferrari. A Ferrari is going to be finicky. And I know that because I've talked to people who have owned them. And um, yeah, it's finicky stuff that you're dealing with. The higher end vehicles that you get, you're going to have those weird little things where it's like, oh, it needs this and this and this to run properly. Where you just buy a Toyota, you jump in it, and you can drive it till it dies 300,000 miles later. That's what I'm talking about. It's like, it's those kind of weird things where someone tries to like justify it, saying, oh, it's the best polisher, but you need to do this and this and this to it to make it not do a rattle or a thing that you find it does. With the SPTAs, I don't have that problem at all. They just work with no weirdness to it at all. So I don't know. I don't buy into any of that stuff. When people say that, I'm like, all right, that's cool, whatever. But in reality, it doesn't really make any sense at all. So whatever. But yeah, but then other people say they don't have the vibration thing. So could it be my machine? I don't know. That's weird. It does have a pronounced higher pitch. Yeah, that is true. But so, oh, that's interesting. So is it worth having more than one brand in your garage? What do you mean? Like the fact that we use all sorts of different products? Is that what you mean? Is it worth having more than one brand? I don't know what you mean by that. I know some people will just dedicate themselves to like one brand. I mean, is that what you mean? I'm not quite sure. Because some people will say like, oh, you're trying all these different products. How do you know? Why don't you just stick with one brand? I'm like, why don't you try different products? Like, I don't. I mean, I really don't. I use all sorts of stuff. This is the thing. When something works so well that I enjoy using it and it just performs really, really well, I just stick with it and continue to use it. As far as product goes, the reason why there's so many products is because companies keep sending it to us. What am I going to do? Throw it away? Well, I'll just use it. So I'll showcase it and use it. And if it's a product that I like, you'll see more of it. You'll see me using more of it in our videos and stuff. But like the mirror finish polishes, I was using this a lot, as you can see. And then, a couple of months ago, I was switching to other things because I was using other products. But today I kind of picked it up because I forgot about it and I looked in the you know drawers over there and saw it and like, oh, let me just use this today. So I liked it before. It seemed to perform really well, so I'll use it. But there's other products that companies will send to me that I use a few times and I'm like, it's not outstanding. And I'll maybe use it once, but then I'll usually give it away. Like I'll give it away to friends or something here locally. But it's just kind of, I don't know, dealer's choice. I just kind of use whatever I feel like using at any given time. So, the Rupes stuff. Oh, yeah. Yeah, oh, that's true. Some people like to stay. If they're going to go Rupes, they'll go all Rupes pads, all their polishes, everything. And that's cool if you like that. That's, yeah, I mean, stick with that. Humidity does make a difference when polishing. Oh, yeah. In the middle of summer, when we didn't have the AC in here, it was rough. So now that we have the AC, it cools down, it kills the humidity. It's usually like the wiping off and the smearing that you get with the humidity when polishing, and things heat up more and all of that. So yeah, it's way nicer not to worry about humidity. Now it's really not bad at all. The humidity is pretty much gone for the season for the year, and it won't come back until maybe April, of next year. So, what's my go-to polish for easy wipe off and good results? So I guess if you just want a regular polish, not an all-in-one polish, because all-in-one polishes are the easiest to wipe off because it has the protection built in. But a regular polish that's very, very easy to wipe off. Well, actually, the new clean polish that Pan the Organizer developed, that stuff is very, very easy to work with. And it's like an all-in-one, not an all-in-one polish, I shouldn't say that. It is a pad-dependent polish. So you can use it as cutting or use it as polishing. But once you've gone through like a cycle with it, once you start to see it kind of break down and get transparent, it's super easy to work, to wipe off. Very, very easy to wipe off. As far as compounds go, still the Meguiar's D300 correction compound that came out like 15 years ago, long time ago. That's the easiest compound to work with. Very underrated. Not a lot of people even know about it anymore. How long you have to wait to polish the vehicle again? Oh, I mean, that depends on your customer. I mean, like with this, he didn't have it polished today. I polished the hood last time, but doesn't need it. So that's on to need, not need to know, but as needed basis is what I'm trying to say. So that just depends on your customer. I mean, if they want to spend the money. So my paint enhancement polishes start at like $500. So if a customer comes in, they're like, I want to buff and wax, and in their minds, anyone who says that in this area, it's usually like $100, $80, or even like $150 at the most. And when they hear $500, they're like, no, 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 I don't want that. That's what we do. Like that's our prices for doing that. And that's just basically like a one-step type of thing. But that's just what the customer needs. Or if the car needs it and the customer's like, hey, I got swirls. What can you do? I can do paint enhancement or paint correction. Here are the prices. And they're like, okay, paint enhancement, or okay, paint correction. And then as long as they're taking care of the vehicle and not bringing it through car washes and getting it all scratched up and swirled again, I mean, the paint can look good for years and years and years and years. So that just kind of depends. Depends. It's very situational. Depends on the customer, their car, how they drive it, all that good stuff. Oh yeah, the Dr. B's that you like, the Gold Standard, Dr. B's NSPs, the Papa Cut, the Fabulous Finish. Actually, those also wipe off very, very nicely. Yeah, cool. Alrighty, guys. Well, that's it for today. It's been pretty much an hour now, so I am going to just go around the vehicle, double check things, and break for lunch. But that's pretty much it. We're done for the day. It's almost 1 o'clock, and this is the only job we had today. It's, you know, we have one tomorrow. We have one at the end of the week. Things have finally picked up again. We have coating jobs coming up also. Hopefully get a chance to try out some new coatings, like Pan's coating, his 3-year. I think I'll use his on a job that's coming up soon, and maybe even the 8-year on a job that's coming up as well. So I don't have anyone that's wanting an 8-year coating, but we have some 5-year coating jobs coming up. I might just do that, you know, and just tell the customer, hey, I had this coating. I'm going to upgrade you to an 8-year coating, and just for the, you know, the sake of using it. But we'll see here. All right, cool. Well, thank you guys for joining us again on the live, and go ahead and watch the other one that I did earlier this morning. When I do lives like this, I kind of like to do 2 of them in the morning. So showing the exterior work for washing, deconning, and then interior and what I'm using to protect the vehicle. And I kind of think it's nice to show you that type of stuff and answer any questions that you guys might have, like on the spot, which I think is kind of nice to do. And show you new products too, because sometimes it's hard to actually show new products in videos, because those videos don't get edited sometimes for months and months and months. So that's what I'm trying to do, is show you guys new stuff like as soon as possible. The only way I can do it is to do this, you know, to do live stuff like this. It's not always the easiest too, because it just takes up so much time. But alrighty guys, we'll see you later.